Hello everyone. So I have some fresh satellite imagery here from the mass attack on Novorossiysk from yesterday. And the attack is better than I first thought, especially on the naval base, where multiple vessels have now been confirmed hit, some of them badly damaged. We're going to start with the most obviously damaged one. On screen now as before of a Project 22160 patrol boat. This isn't the same one hitting the attack, it's in a different position, but was shared to show the differences in how they look. And on screen now, the aftermath. The one destroyed here is the Vasily Bykov, so this was hit hard, possibly unrepairable damage. It was hit directly in the centre of the ship, penetrating the hull here, hit at the rear of the superstructure. I actually wonder if this may have been a Neptune missile that hit this rather than a drone. The blast here destroyed part of the superstructure towards the rear, destroyed some masts, and looks to have buckled part of the rest of the superstructure. So, a great strike this one. Additionally, a drone has also hit the helicopter landing pad, causing minor damage there. Now, cast your gaze towards the front of the boat, towards the main gun. That has completely popped off, so we missed a very rare ship turret toss somewhere. I wish we'd seen that one. It would have been the first ship turret toss that I've seen. Now, I'm not sure if this was hit directly by a drone on the turret, which detonated the ammunition inside, causing it to pop off, or if it was a result of a possible Neptune strike. So the blast spread beneath the ship's structure, causing the ammo stored near the gun to detonate, causing it to pop off, or maybe the shockwave causing it to pop off. So big damage to this ship here. Possibly, this can't be repaired. We saw in Sevastopol that Russia does struggle to repair its warships now. An example, the Ivan Kurs had its deck pierced by a Storm Shadow missile back in 2023, and hasn't left the harbour since. It's no longer seaworthy, and that was over 3 years ago nearly. The Yamal and Azov, a pair of repoers, were also damaged with the same attack and haven't left Sevastopol since. So it is tricky for Russia to repair these ships now, possibly because of a lack of difficult possibly because of the difficulty in obtaining parts now because of sanctions and stuff, the cost of doing so, and also a lack of repair facilities available. Russia may be able to repair this after the war, but for the duration of the war at least, I think this is gone. This is out of action for now, removed from the playing field. Here's a diagram of the 22160. Not high quality, but I prefer diagrams like this rather than photos because they show what is what a little bit better. So, the area here looks completely destroyed after taking a direct hit. The annotations are hard to read because of the low quality of the image, but these read that it's installations for the air defense missile systems and air defense radars here. The superstructure further forward of here also looks warped, housing the various radars, and of course the front gun has popped off completely. Now if that was popped off because of pressure from a missile strike, then we could also be looking at severe internal damage as well. I think this Project 22160 is out for the count most certainly. This one was hit hard. These are large patrol ships. Russia formerly used them for escorting vessels in the Black Sea, patrolling pipelines, and protecting the Kerch Bridge. But we've now been confined to the harbour for a couple of years now, very rarely emerging because of the threat of marine drones. Russia had 5 of these in service. The Sergei Kotov was sunk in 2024 by marine drones. That's when Russia stopped sending these out. Additionally, the Pavel Dazarvin has been damaged by a marine drone, but is back in service. One of them, the Victor Veliki, is stuck in the Mediterranean. So with the Vasily Bykov now out of action, Russia has 2 of these available now for the Black Sea. These could potentially be used to patrol the Kerch Bridge and also protect Russia's shadow fleet from marine drones. That is, whenever Russia is brave enough to actually send them out of Novorossiysk harbour. So they are feasibly quite important vessels. Now onto the submarine paddock. Now unfortunately to the right, I did wonder yesterday if that building was destroyed or badly damaged because signs of burning were visible in low quality imaging. But it isn't, it's still standing. But there is signs of a blast near it. The closest Kilo to it, furthest on the right, suffered a very near miss, impacting on the dock next to it. But the second Kilo on the far left is damaged. It took a direct hit on the side. Now, it's very hard to tell for certain because of the black hull of the submarine, but zoomed in, it actually looks like the hull may have been penetrated here. To me, the black marking further up looks like a large hole with darker scorch marking bubbling around it. If so, then this submarine is out of action. But even tiny hairline cracks are dangerous with submarines because they weaken the hull due to water pressure when it submerges. So this direct strike by a drone on the side of a Kilo here has put the submarine out of action until repaired. However, saying that, these only really emerge from port now to fire caliber missiles near the entrance of the harbour. They don't really do much submerging, so Russia can probably still operate this even with this damage here. It just can't go underwater. But after the war, it will certainly need repairing in order to repair this damage. Here's a nice diagram by H.I. Sutton showing the Kilo. This was hit next to the conning tower, so areas number 33 or 34, either the control room or the crew living quarters. We can't really tell for certain the damage here, how deep the drone penetrated the hull and that sort of thing, if it managed to breach the control room. Hopefully it did, but personally I don't think it did. I think it just cracked the hull and put a hole in the side of the hull. But still, damage that is going to stop it from submerging. The Black Sea Fleet had 7 Kilo-class submarines in service at the start of the war. One, the Rostov, was destroyed by Storm Shadow, and then whilst Russia tried to repair it, was hit again by ATACMS which finished it off. The Kolpino is the one damaged by Ukraine's underwater drone late last year, but has reportedly been repaired. I'm not sure which one was damaged here in this strike. Now, the Essen and the Makarov were also hit. These are Admiral Grigorovich-class missile frigates. I personally can't see any damage to the top one, despite claims, but the lower one, the Makarov, did sustain damage. Zoomed in here, it got hit by a drone at the rear, destroying 2 radomes on the ship. Also, there is oil leaking from it near the front, and if you look close, it does appear to be sagging at the front. That front section looks to be sitting lower down in the water than the Essen does. I wonder if a drone may have hit the side of this ship here near the waterline penetrating it, and it's just not visible on satellite imagery because it's at the side. I can't tell for certain, but to my eyes, this is definitely looking lower in the waterline than the one above it. Now, the annotated image here isn't the clearest, but it allows us to see that the 2 radomes destroyed here are the MR252 cross-dome radar, an air and surface search and target designation radar, able to track targets up to 130 kilometers away. This was for anti-ship missiles and the main gun, and also the 3R14N Centauro, which is a fire control system, importantly used for launching Caliber missiles. Russia often uses Calibers to hit Ukraine, so this being destroyed is taking the Makarov off the board and will help keep Ukrainian schools, train stations and apartment buildings safer from missile strikes. I assume as well these radars will be both costly and difficult to repair. This one we looked at before. This shows damage near a ship that has since been identified as a Project 226M minesweeper. The minesweeper itself shows no damage even with this clearer imagery, so I'm chalking this up as a miss unfortunately. I thought I'd take a quick look just in case this clearer imagery showed anything. This is a Natty class minesweeper. Russia had 2. One was sunk by Ukraine in May 2024. As a Brucey bonus, here's a zoomed out view of a 22160 hit. This time, look at the right to the Bora-class corvette. This wasn't damaged in this strike, but it was hit by a drone a couple of months ago, and it shows damage here. As well as being tetanus heaven, this shows damage to the ship here where the deck has buckled near the bottom because of a drone strike. Not huge damage, but damage nonetheless, and I wonder if all this rust and everything that you can see visible on HMS Tetanus was caused because of fire damage after the strike. Though this one was hit a couple of months ago, so not part of this attack, this is the first good imagery we have to confirm a strike on it. Now, we also have fresh imagery of a grain terminal, shared by Saw Intel on Twitter, and it's on screen now. This shows that more structures here were hit than I first thought. At least 4 impacts on various buildings, including one that may have been a missile given the clear hole. This is in addition to the collapsed train grain transporting conveyor bridge over the railway, which leads to the export terminal itself that we saw yesterday. So, this was a very good strike. I'm not sure of the purpose of any of these structures. Hopefully they're important and will have an effect on Russia's grain exports. As we covered yesterday, the key bit damage of the grain area was this here. The conveyor leading to the ports which has collapsed fully onto the railroad tracks at the bottom and disconnected near the top. So, this whole thing will need removing and replaced. So until that happens, this grain terminal is out of action. The new image also shows a blue warehouse near there, which was also hit, but again, not sure what purpose this serves. So, A really good strike this on Novorossiysk harbour, and Russia did get very lucky. There were two near misses on another Kilo, near misses on a minesweeper, and as we saw yesterday, a near miss on a crane ship as well. So this could have been even worse for them and better for us. Now, Ukraine also reported the Buyan-M corvette was hitting this strike, but so far there isn't any satellite imagery of the Buyan-M corvette to confirm that. It seems to have missed out on all of the ones that have been shared. Hopefully we do get confirmation of that because the Buyan-M is a very important ship as well. Another one of Russia's which launches caliber missiles at Ukraine. So taking that out will definitely keep Ukrainian cities safer from Russian attack. So that's it for this video. Hope you found it interesting. If so, please click like. Now I'm going to play a video message from Sanath about the fundraiser it is doing. Thanks so much and take care everybody.
Hello Sukhami's community. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Sanath and I'm a volunteer that's been living in Ukraine for the past 15 years. At the start of Russia's full-scale invasion, many of my friends went to join the military, but I stayed on to work as a volunteer, and in that time we've run many fundraisers with the channel, so thank you to everyone who supported our cause. The last fundraiser we did ended really well. We were able to deliver 2 pickup trucks converted to BMW power units, and they're out there now doing really great service to the guys. But unfortunately we lost a vehicle recently. It was taken out by some FPV drones. The good news is no one was hurt, and it did last 2.5 years, which is a fabulous run, doing all it's supposed to do, ferrying troops to the front, providing supplies, evacuating civilians. And that's the reason we're running this new fundraiser, to provide a replacement vehicle for the guys. It's going to be a Mitsubishi Pajero installed with a BMW power unit, giving them that really robust 1990s 4x4 capability, mated to a modern BMW power unit, which means it's really powerful and also extremely reliable. So with your continued support, we'll be able to bring this war to a successful conclusion. Slava Ukraini!